Hi, I'm Michelle. Welcome. This is a strengthen and lengthen practice for your calves. To support you today, you might want some padding for your knees. I've got an extra yoga mat here, a towel, a cushion, a chip foam block to toss under your knees in kneeling posture might serve you, and 2 blocks or substitutes to bring the earth up to your hands in pyramid pose and runner's lunge. Collect your props and let's begin standing at the bottom of our space. Find mountain pose with your feet about hip width distance apart. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Draw your crown towards the sky. Take a moment to connect with all 4 corners of your feet. Perhaps you lift your toes and place them back down. Engaging with your feet, connecting with the earth, Padabandha. Notice that energy traveling up through your inseam, engaging your core and allowing you to stand taller. While we are highlighting the calves today, no part of our body exists in isolation. We'll notice and explore the connection between our feet and our calves, and between our calves and our core. We're going to begin lifting our heels. Inhale deeply. Exhale, zipping up through the midline as if you are zipping up a jacket, feeling your core muscles draw together in and up. Use your core to lift yourself up towards the sky and then release your heels back down to the earth. So the movement really comes from your center rather than your feet or your calves. Inhale, exhale, use your core to lift, and then release. Try a few rounds, following your own rhythm, using your breath as your guide. Notice the connection up through your inseam to your core. Try one more round. Explore that sensation. Releasing your heels back down to the earth. Turn your right toes out, 90-degree angle to your left foot. We're going to explore tree pose. Let's start by lifting our right heel off the earth and drawing our right thigh out so it's at a 45-degree angle, or that's where we're aiming. If it doesn't reach it, it's all good. Notice the engagement through the thigh. And if it's in your practice to do so, draw your foot to your calf. And using our outside edge or our knife edge of our right foot as sort of a fulcrum, press the outside edge of our right foot into our left calf to allow our right leg to open a little more. Also, using that right foot to check in with what's happening in your calf right now. Drawing energy up from the earth as we did in mountain pose, engaging through the core. And if you like, you can draw your hands together at heart center. Draw your right knee to center, lift it up, and then place it back down on the earth. We'll explore the other side. From mountain pose, take your left foot out to a 45-degree angle. Connecting with your center, lift your left heel up, and perhaps you stay here, exploring the sensations in your right calf, balancing, playing with center. Or if you like, you can lift your left foot to your right calf, using that knife edge to press into your right calf and draw your knee a little wider. Perhaps you bring your heart together, or your hands to your heart. Namaste. And then draw your left knee up and back to center, releasing your foot to the earth, coming back to mountain pose. Take a second to check in with your calves and your feet. Notice where you feel engagement now. Inhale, sweeping the fingers up towards the sky, coming into an upward salute. Exhale and up on your toes again. Release your heels to the earth and fold forward. Gentle bend through the knees. Release the crown of your head towards the earth as you clasp your big toes with your index and middle finger, taking the elbows wide. Bend gently through the knees, or generously as much as you need to comfortably get your fingers around your toes. Inhale, draw your hips up in space, straightening through the knees, not locking the knees out. As extended as is comfortable for you. Exhale, bend deeply. Inhale, lift your hips. Imagine there is a hook on your hip crease, drawing your hips up towards the sky as you inhale, and then releasing as you exhale. try a few rounds at your own pace. When you feel satisfied, let go of your big toes and release your hands to the earth. Generous bend in your knees and slowly walk your palms out to downward facing dog. You might want to position your blocks on either side of your mat within hand's reach as you head into your downward dog. Taking your palms wide, perhaps your pinky fingers spill off your mat. Generous bend in your knees. Lift your hip creases up towards the sky and begin to pedal out your feet, dropping one heel to the earth and then the other, stretching out through the back line of the leg, noticing the sensation in the calf as you do this. Drawing your big toes together, release your left heel towards the earth and inhale, take your right foot up and back, coming into a three-legged dog. Dialing your pinky toes down to square the hips. Exhale, draw your right knee forward as you come into plank. Knee to chest, pressing away from the earth, your upper back doming. Kick it back, three-legged dog. Right leg extends behind you. Exhale, draw yourself forward into plank. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, plank. Step your right foot up between your palms and pivot on your left foot, coming into warrior one. Bend through the right knee, sweeping your arms up towards the sky. Connect again with the knife edge of that left foot. Hips are square towards the front. Release your palms back to the earth, perhaps to your blocks. Pivoting on your left foot, coming into runner's lunge. You can choose a block height that works for you. Spiking that left heel towards the back of your space. Exploring the line between your crown and your left heel. Roll your shoulders back and down. Release your left knee to the earth. Untuck your toes. And then draw your hips back in space as you flex through the right foot, coming into half splits. Long line from crown to tail. Lots of engagement through your right foot. Rolling through your right foot, curling the left toes under, coming back into runner's lunge, and then bending through the left knee, step forward as we come into pyramid, straightening through the right leg, drawing your tailbone back in space. Perhaps you adjust your blocks. Long line from your crown to your tail. Bend through the left and right knees, step back, coming back to that runner's lunge, spiking your left heel back towards the bottom of your space. And then lower your left knee to the earth, untuck the toes, and sweep your fingertips up and overhead, coming into a low crescent. Gaze lifts. Release your palms to the earth. Curl the left toes under and step back, downward facing dog. Take a moment in downward dog to walk your heels, dropping them one and then the other towards the earth. Rotating your hands as if you are opening a jar. So your palms have an outward rotation, noticing how that engages your arm and your shoulder girdle. Heart sinking towards your thighs. Release your right heel towards the earth and inhale. Sweep your left leg up and back, dropping that pinky toe to square your hips. Three-legged dog on the other side. Exhale, left knee to chest as you come into plank. Press away from the earth. Engage through the fingertips. Inhale, kick it back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, plank. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, plank. Step the right foot, or left foot rather, up between your palms. Pivot on the right foot and rise up. Warrior one on the other side. Connect with that knife edge of your right foot. Square your hips, perhaps lifting your gaze. Exhale, palms to the earth or your blocks, coming up onto the right toes, runner's lunge. Choose a block height that allows you to feel like there's a ski jump from the top of your head to your heel. So a nice slope. Lower your right knee to the earth. Draw your hips back and lift your left toes towards the sky, coming into half splits. Roll through your left foot, curl the toes under, coming back in to lunge, and then bending the right knee, step the right foot forward as you draw the hips back in space, coming into pyramid. Your right foot's on a 45-degree angle. Hips are square to the front. A long line or dunda from your crown to your tail. And you can adjust your blocks here to whatever height feels good for you, allowing you length through the spine. Bend gently through both knees, stepping back to runner's lunge. And then lower the right knee to the earth, uncurl the toes, sweep your fingertips up and overhead. Gaze lifts. Releasing your palms back to the earth. Curl the right toes under and step back to downward facing dog. Walk your dog. Perhaps you take your feet a little bit wider and notice how that angle changes the sensation you experience in your calves. Crossing your right foot over your left, coming all the way to the opposite side of your space. Begin to crisscross your feet as you slowly make your way to a forward fold, exploring how that feels through your lower leg. When you've found your way to a forward fold, bend your knees, allowing your torso to drape across your thighs, and drop your head towards the earth. Taking your toes wide. Perhaps they spill off the edges of your mat. We're going to play with malasana, or deep squat. Bending through the knees. Lower your hips, exploring the sensation. Perhaps your heels come up off the earth. You can rock from side to side, playing with sensation through the feet, through the calves. You might find stillness up on the balls of your feet, or perhaps you lower your feet to the earth. You can maintain connection with the earth in your hands, or you can draw your palms together. And then exploring movement a little, releasing your hands to the earth. Inhale, hips up towards the sky. Release your crown to the earth. Exhale, hips release to the earth. Crown extends towards the sky. Listening to whatever feels good in your body today. Explore sensation and movement and stretch between forward fold and a deep squat. If you would like to take a few breaths in your squat, hang out here, see how that feels, you can do so. Inhaling your hips up to a forward fold. Perhaps you stay here for a few breaths. Walking your hands to one side of your feet. Perhaps you walk your hands to the other side. Finding what feels good in your body. Exploring how the sensation changes with each round. Let's meet in a forward fold. Draw your feet back to hip width distance apart. And walk your hands and your feet back out to downward dog. Walk your dog. When you feel satisfied, bring your big toes together and spread your toes out on the mat so each of your toes has a nice independent connection with the earth. And then slowly lower your knees together down to the earth as we come in to a little toe stand. You might find with your hands underneath your shoulders that that's enough of a stretch for your feet and your ankles. You can walk your hands back, lowering your hips towards your heels as much as feels right in your body. Be open to deciding to go back if that doesn't suit you today. Breathe in to your feet. Little kneeling toe squat. And then walk your palms back out, coming back into tabletop and tapping out the tops of your feet. Take your knees back underneath your hips. Hands underneath your shoulders or perhaps a little wider. Find a nice long line from crown to tail. Zip up through the midline just as we did at the beginning when we were in mountain pose or tree pose. And then extend your right leg behind you, toes curled under, and begin to saw back and forth, stretching through your right leg, maintaining that connection to core, and a nice, long, strong danda from the top of your head to your tailbone. Release the right knee back to the earth underneath your right hip. And then extend the left leg out, sighing back and forth. Release your left knee to the earth. Swing your legs to one side and come to sit with your legs extended in front of you. Flexing your feet, you can move the fleshy part of your buttocks to one side, connecting with your sits bones. If you like, you can use your blocks to bring the earth up to you. Finding length from crown to tail. You can have a gentle or generous bend in your knees here. And exhaling as we fold forward, taking the big toes again with our index and middle finger. Find length as we hinge at the hips, using our arms to draw our torso towards our thighs, maintaining a long spine. With a forward fold, you have the option of a long spine versus bowing the head and allowing your spine to round. Notice the difference maintaining a long spine in your calves. slightly different experience, different stretch. And slowly draw your crown back up, finding Dandasana again. And then scooching your hips down, come to recline on your back with your feet on the earth. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Lift your hips up and place them back down so that your low back is flush with the earth. Connecting with your feet, checking in that they're below your hip points. Tucking your chin. Placing your palms on the earth on either side of your hips. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Engage through your core. And then peel your tailbone up, coming into a bridge. Maintaining stability through the legs so your knees are not coming out or coming in. And then play with lifting your right heel up off the earth and notice what that changes in your bridge. Release your right heel back down to the earth and then lift your left heel up, noticing the change in sensation. Release your left heel back to the earth. And then lift both heels. Release your heels back to the earth. And then very slowly, one vertebra at a time, lower your spine back to the earth. Pressing into the feet, float your feet up, drawing your knees to your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Maybe rock a little side to side, giving your low back a little massage. And then reaching through your legs, clasping the bottoms of your feet. Let's play with Happy Baby a little bit here. Perhaps you extend one foot up towards the earth, drawing your knee into your armpit. See how that feels. You can play with extending through your right leg and bending it again. Perhaps you take your left foot up towards the sky, left knee towards your left armpit. Play with extension here. You might try both feet Perhaps you rock a little side to side, lengthening through the tailbone as you draw your knees towards your armpits. When you feel satisfied, release your feet back to the earth. Extend your legs out long, perhaps taking your feet wider than your hips, letting your feet flop in or flop out, tucking your shoulder blades underneath you. Perhaps you release the backs of your hands to the earth, allowing your shoulders to open. If you would like a more grounding experience, perhaps you release your palms to your ribs or your low belly. Take any movements you need to feel settled here. Lick your lips, swallow. Give your hips a little shake. Perhaps you lift your foot up and place your leg back down on one side and then the other. And as you settle into our most important posture, take a moment to check in, observe. How do you feel physically? Where have you experienced stretch? Where do you feel engagement? Take a moment to check in with how you feel mentally and emotionally. Where do you feel strength and engagement? Where have you been stretched? And then releasing your observations. Give yourself permission to be still. I will guide you out when it's time to close the practice. Allow yourself conscious rest. Begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Circle your wrists and ankles. And then draw your knees up one at a time, placing your feet on the earth. Draw your knees to your chest and give yourself a little hug. And then gently roll to one side. Slowly press up to a comfortable seat of your choosing, allowing your head to come up last. Find a tall spine. Begin to flutter your eyes open, welcoming the light back in. Thank you for taking the time today to stretch and explore your strength. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.